We provide health coaching as well as health insurance navigation. Single Stops is our partner in providing those services and health insurance navigation, SNAP benefits, and a host of other services they will explain. So today we have Chiffon Richardson, who's the program manager. We have Melba.
Hi, everyone.
We have Melba Garcia. And we have Julio Rodriguez, and they will be presenting today.
My name is Julio. I've been with Single Stop for about 6 months. I am a health advocate. Now we're going to go into what is our SNAP eligibility, the basic eligibility criteria, the Single Stop technology, our household, our special populations, income, deductions, and resources. So, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, federally funded nutrition assistance program. Generally, rules and benefits amounts are set at the federal level. States have flexibility to set certain standards of the program. Basic eligibility factors. SNAP. Household income, resources, citizenship, qualified immigration status. Household size. A household is defined by the number of people who buy and prepare meals together on a regular basis. So basically, this would be your immediate family. Let's say you're staying with your parents, so it'll be, you can count your parents, your kids, basically anyone who prepares meals together on a regular daily basis. Determining a household. What's mandatory and what's voluntary? It is mandatory to list spouses living together, children aged 22 living with their natural parent or legal guardian, children under 18 living with an adult who is not the parent but provides more than 50% of financial support. What is voluntary when determining a household? Adults living together but don't buy and prepare meals together. Foster children and their foster parents. Elderly, disabled individuals who buy and prepare meals with others due to age or disability. When conducting a single stop intake, this is basically what our screen looks like. We're gonna ask you questions about yourself. What's your name, your last name, what gender, your date of birth, and then it's gonna ask you basically on step 2, your household. Is there anyone in your household besides you? A household is generally basically anyone in the family member, includes people you support or who you depend on financially. It does not include roommates unless they are all sharing all expenses with yourself.
So what this is our screening tool, which we utilize in order to determine what you may potentially be eligible for in regards to SNAP and how much you'll receive.
Then it goes into our income sections. Our income basically is going to ask for income for the last 30 days. Your income and savings affect your eligibility for resources. Please make sure when we're going to go ahead, we're going to ask you, what is your employment status? You're basically going to get to let us know if you're full-time, part-time, freelance, currently unemployed, retired, or unable to work due to a disability. If you don't know, you can estimate roughly for now, and we can also revise it later during the process. We're going to go into what is your employment status. Once you select full-time, part-time, then we go into the section the last 30 days. How much did you earn from a job before taxes? If you don't know, you can estimate roughly for now, and we can also go back at the end and we can revise this amount as well. Did you receive money from anything other than a job? This is, for example, if you receive money for child support, workers' compensation, veterans benefits, cash assistance, unemployment insurance, supplemental social security, grants or scholarships, money from rent, income from friends, relatives, or any other source you receive any income from, you can go ahead and list it here under the, do you receive money from anything other than a job? Then we go into the source of income. Do you receive money from anything other than a job? If you can see, if you select yes, Then it will ask you select the source of income that you're gonna go ahead and list that you're receiving monthly. It could be alimony, it can be cash assistance, child support, food stamps, Pell, Social Security Disability, the Heat Assistance Program, Social Security Retirement, Supplemental Social Security, SSI, Unemployment Insurance, veteran benefits, WIC, workers' compensation, and any other. Or if if you go ahead and you receive any assistance, so you go ahead and receive money from renting out an apartment or renting out a room in your apartment. That amount will also go right here. And that if it's a rental assistance, you select rental assistance or whichever one it is that you go ahead and receive any other source of income additionally. It will ask you, do you have a savings account? And if you do, how much do you have in your savings account? And then it goes into the deductions. Expenses for the last 30 days. Do any of the following housing circumstances apply to you? Please check all that apply. If you're renting, if you're living with your parents, if you're living in public housing, if you're living in supportive housing, if you're living in rent subsidized or rent stabilized housing, temporary transitional housing or shelters or emergency shelters, housing insecure or homeless, hotel, motel, couch surfing, car, etc. Or you could decline to answer. But if you do go ahead and tell us, if you're renting, how much your rent is, that's also going to allow us to go ahead and the system be able to calculate to see how much resources you're actually qualified for. Once we go ahead and describe, let's say that you rent a home, under what is the monthly rent or mortgage for your household, right there we will go ahead and write in whatever your responsibility is for the rent each month. And then if you go ahead, we'll ask you, do you pay for the heating and cooling where you live? Basically, do you pay for your heating system? No, you can go ahead and select no. Do you have to pay court order child support? That's yes or no. If you go ahead and you select no, it goes ahead and moves you on to the next question. Do you pay for childcare for anyone in your household? Whether yes or no. If it goes yes, you will have to list who you pay or how much do you pay. And if it's no, we just go ahead and jump right to the next question. SNAP deductions, allowable deductions. 20% deduction from earned income. Standard deduction, $160, 1 to 3 people in household. $170 for 4 people. Dependent care costs if paid in order to secure employment. Medical expenses for elderly and disabled members. In some states, a standard shelter deduction for homeless households is of $147.55. In some states, legally ordered child support payments. Excess shelter cost deduction for shelter costs that are more than 50% of the household's income after other deductions. Income test. A household gross monthly monthly income must be at or below the established federal poverty guidelines. For a household of one person, the pre-tax limit for most households is $1,926, which means before taxes, if you're if you're applying for SNAP by yourself, you cannot make no more than $1,926 before taxes. Okay, the maximum benefit before was $194. We just believe that they just did an increase that went up to $204. For a family of 8, as you can see, you can make no more than $6,696, and the maximum benefit is of $1,164. Now, if it goes over 8 people in a household, for each additional member, you will add $682 and add $146 to see how much their benefit will be. Some households may still be eligible if their income exceeds these amounts. If they have a member who is disabled and or 60 or older, these households must have $3,500 or less in assets every month. How to calculate monthly income. Income received weekly times 4.33. Income received bi-weekly by 2.17. Income received semi-monthly by 2. For example, Mary works 30 hours a week, a rate of 10.15 per hour. So you will calculate her weekly amount of 30 hours by $10.15, which equals about $305 weekly. Then you will get the weekly amount, which in this case is 305, multiplied by by 433, and the amount that it gives you is of $1,321. What counts as income? What's exempt and what's countable? Exempt, which means it's not counted towards an income. Work study earnings, in-kind payments, loans, lump sum, EITC, which means earned income tax credit payments, Section 8 housing subsidies, and foster care payments. And what is countable for as income is the wages, self-employment minus cost of doing business, Social Security benefits, unemployment benefits, child support, workers' compensation, and contributions from family members or friends. Resource test. One SNAP applicant who has an active intentional program violation (IPV) or sanction disqualified to participate in the SNAP program, for example, due to a work-related sanction. Resource limit is 2,250 or 3,500 if someone is 60 plus years old or disabled. SNAP applicants who are 60 years old or disabled and whose gross monthly income is over 200% of the federal poverty income guideline, which is abbreviated as the FPIG, but their net monthly income, gross income minus allowable SNAP deduction, is below the 100% FPIG. So the resource limit here is 3,500. And the reason that it's 3,500 is because the person is over the age of 60. So if remember it states here that if the resource limit can be 2,250 or 3,500 if someone is 60 plus years old or disabled. So in this case, she's 60 years old or disabled, and the income, let's say if it's over 200%, she will still qualify because they will deduct the allowable SNAP deductions and put her back down to 100% of the federal poverty income guidelines. So she will be able to go ahead and they won't sanction her. Let's say if she goes back, she can fight it. Let's say they try to sanction her, she can fight it because of her age. Her age makes it go up to 3,500. Income exclusions. Legally ordered child support payments are excluded prior to applying monthly gross income test. Example, Lewis earns $1,600 per month. He pays $300 towards legally ordered child support every month. His countable income gross monthly is now is $1,300 plus. Citizenship qualified immigration status. U.S. citizens, nationals, examples of qualified immigrants, legal permanent residents, 5 years with status for adults 18 plus. Legal permanent residents under age 18, asylees and refugees. Additional eligibility criteria, students. Individuals who are between ages 18 and 49, attending higher education institutes, at least part-time, must be working an average of 20 hours a week to be eligible for SNAP. Exemptions. Students who attend college less than half-time, physically or mentally unable to work, parent or a caregiver, enrolled in participating in work studies. These four are the only ones that will go ahead and be exemptions to go ahead and use the eligibility criteria for students. if the student, again, remember, if the student is over the age of 18 through the ages of 49 and they're attending a higher institution, they at least have to work part-time with a minimum of 20 hours a week in order for them to be eligible for SNAP. This is another section from our single stop technology when it comes to the students. Your education. Your education and enrollment status can affect your eligibility for some financial resources. What is your highest level of education completed? Basically, right here, you would basically need to put high school graduate, bachelor's, associates. Do you currently attend college or take post-secondary classes? Yes or no?